Hi everybody, as I'm recording this video, there's only a few days to go before the release of Call of Duty Vanguard, and then just slightly less than a month later we're going to get the release of the new Warzone map, Caldera. So in this video I wanted to talk about what you can expect when the new Warzone map drops and what changes are coming to Warzone with the release of Vanguard. So let's dive into the roadmap, the Call of Duty roadmap, which you might not have gone all the way down to the bottom of because it's a big old blog post this, but it goes into some specifics and says some really interesting things about the fact that we're going to have dogfights in Warzone now. Anyway, let's read what they've got to say. The Warzone Pacific era begins. Caldera's only true comparison to Verdansk is its scale. So hopefully they're saying it's going to be as big as Verdansk. This brand new map, built on learnings from the community, is launching with Season 1, which is it's around about December the 2nd, I think it's coming out on. Ricochet anti-cheat driver launching with Season 1. Arriving with the new map, expect Ricochet anti-cheat to help keep you focused on the fun. So hopefully this is going to keep PC cheaters, or lots of PC cheaters, away from Warzone. So when we're forced to play cross-play, console versus PC, we're not going to run into so many. Lush forests and rocky crags, white sand beaches and mysterious ruins, and a dormant volcano that towers over the 200 plus points of interest. So we can see here part of the map, can't we? So there's this rather, I don't know what this is. Looks like as we're looking sort of to this part of the map, we can see there's lots of vegetation. There's got a little camp down there. Warzone will change its title to Call of Duty Warzone Pacific, or Warzone Pacific. The new Pacific formally launches as part of Vanguard's first season of content. A map roughly the size of Verdansk, which it will replace as part of the update. This new map is based on 2 years of research and listening to the community. Ooh, sometimes that can be a dangerous thing. Built on the same tech and engine as Call of Duty Vanguard, this map is visually appealing as it is ready to support this new game's armament and will support fully optimized cross-play, cross-progression and cross-gen support. Interesting. So they're not really saying whether this is a... I think it's still going to be the last gen version. So this version of Warzone, Warzone Pacific, sorry, I think it's going to be designed to run well on Xbox Ones and PlayStation 4s. I think that's and then when you play on your PlayStation 5s and your Xbox Series S's and X's and PC, that's when you're going to get your 4K, you're going to get your 1440p, you're going to get your 60 frames a second, you're going to get your 100 frames a second. But I don't think there's going to be a next gen version of Warzone. There's going to be one version for console. Here we've got another, so sort of a couple of rivers coming down here, or going that way, probably coming down here. A water wheel, these thatched cottages, or thatched huts. It, as well as Warzone as a whole, will support Ricochet Anti-Cheat, our upcoming initiative supported by a team of dedicated professionals focused on fighting unfair play. We'll already have several back-end anti-cheat security features by Vanguard's launch on November the 5th. So they're going to start introducing it on November the 5th, and then the full rollout for Warzone will be when the new map comes out. As part of the Season 1 update, Ricochet Anti-Cheat will deploy the server-side upgrades to Warzone, as well as a new internally developed kernel-level driver on PC to assist in identifying cheaters, which can allow players on all platforms to focus more on the fun offerings across Vanguard and Warzone Pacific. The kernel level driver will subsequently release for Vanguard at a later date. So they're saying, look, the thing is, if you want to cheat on Vanguard, you've got to buy Vanguard, haven't you? So it's quite expensive. So if you get banned, that's quite an expensive. If you've got your account banned, that's an expensive thing to go through. Warzone being free, people can create new accounts really fast. So they're going to have a kernel level for PC, which means that it's going to be monitoring what programs you've got running, what's interfering with the Warzone program. Here we go. New playlist. Vanguard's integration with Warzone, including a 24-hour exclusive access period, dedicated main playlist, and dogfighting detailed. Here we go. So, dogfighting. New Vanguard content shine in the dedicated playlist. This is really interesting, this. Available to all players, take to the skies or maneuver AA guns to break up epic aerial battles in Vanguard Royale, featuring a streamlined loadout and weapon pool. So they don't really say much about that, but that's a really big thing. So there's going to be a version of Battle Royale over the Pacific map where we're flying around in aeroplanes trying to shoot each other, or you're going to be on the ground with anti-aircraft trucks. I mean, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? Honouring your progression. The integration adds Vanguard content, so expect all your operators, calling cards and more from Black Ops Cold War on Modern Warfare to stay in Warzone, as well as cross-progression and seasonal prestige. Interesting. So this does get a bit confusing here. So what we're trying to figure out here is, so in Warzone Pacific, are you going to be able to have all your previous skins? So your Judge Dredd skin, or your Park skins, or all those skins you've bought or earned over the last couple of years, and the weapons as well, because this is meant to be a World War II Warzone, isn't it? So in a World War II Warzone, are you going to have lock-on missile launcher available to equip? Are you going to be able to have RPGs? Let's see. So there's going to be 24-hour exclusive access to Caldera for Vanguard players. Play the new Pacific map a day early by owning Call of Duty Vanguard. So again, if you bought Vanguard, you'll get. I mean, it's 24 hours. It's not much, is it? Rebirth Island will remain live during this time for all other players. Caldera is just the beginning of Vanguard's full integration into Warzone, and there's no better place to experience all this fresh content than in the dedicated Vanguard modes for Warzone Pacific. So this is where, there's going to be playlists that are for Warzone Pacific, for the new big map Caldera, that are going to have all of your stuff in. So you're going to be able to run around as Judge Dredd with an RPG, or a lock-on missile, and there's going to be a version of it where you can only use the Vanguard stuff, so it's going to be World War II. So that's a big difference, isn't it? Available to all players in Season 1, Vanguard Royale mode and later Vanguard Plunder mode showcase all new content from the Season 1 update onwards, including weaponry and vehicles like biplanes and anti-aircraft trucks. So you're going to be able to fly around in a biplane over the map, or shoot them down with an A truck. The Pacific is home to dogfighting aerial battles in the azure skies above the majestic Isle. Think of a precision airstrike where you are in the cockpit, ready to rain down fire on a squad or defend yours from an enemy pilot. So that, in its most basic terms, is what you can imagine aerial combat is like in the Pacific. So we're not just talking about you being in the cockpit of a strafing run like in a kill streak. We're talking about you flying around in an aeroplane and attacking other squads or defending your squad. Expect a new machine gun fighter aircraft to add another element of strategy and firepower to your squad's winning Warzone Pacific tactics. These are also just part of a brand new set of vehicles for these Vanguard focus modes. Another is the anti-air AA truck that provides a solid solution to grounding planes other than launchers, LMGs, stationary AA turrets, or taking to the skies yourself. In these modes, only Vanguard weaponry can be used in the loadouts. This limit streamlines the meta, granting new players an opportunity to jump in without facing fully maxed out loadouts right at launch. It also grants room for experimentation with these new weapons, giving the most hardcore community meta prophets a place to focus on the future for a winning loadout. Good news, those operators with previously earned Warzone content can use what they've acquired after Vanguard's integration. In fact, the December the 2nd integration will follow the same format as when Black Ops Cold War came to Warzone. All operators from Vanguard, Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare can be used across all Warzone after the integration, even in the Vanguard playlist. Alright, so what they're saying is you will still be able to play as Judge Dredd or any of the I think it's Judge Dredd, but Rambo or any of those operators in the Vanguard playlist for Warzone Pacific, but you won't be able to use the weapons. There we go. Your progression for your player level excuse me, Battle Pass system, etc. is synchronized across Vanguard, Black Ops, Cold War, Modern Warfare and Warzone Pacific. And the seasonal leveling and prestige system will return. This all means your level will reset to military rank 1 within all games, but this only applies to XP. All content you previously unlocked will still be available. Okay, so it's interesting they're doing this. So the new prestige system for Vanguard is going to be a reset style prestige system. So you get to level 55 and then you'll choose presumably whether you want to prestige or not. Currently, you get to level 55 and that's it, and then you keep going, don't you? But you're not unlocking anything else. So what they're saying is you'll be able to turn it back, but this only applies to XP. All content you previously unlocked will still be available. So maybe it is the same. I think we're going to have to see it in action. I know I don't want to go back to the days of choosing whether to prestige or not, and you would get the prestige token and you'd use that to unlock the best gun, wouldn't you? I'm not too fond of doing that. Your personal profile, calling card, emblem, etc. can be comprised of what you already have in Black Ops, Cold War or Modern Warfare. Use what you'll learn in Vanguard or be a combination of anything from those games. The store will stock Vanguard bundles as well as legacy Black Ops, Cold War and Modern Warfare content, all of which can be used in Warzone Pacific. In addition to getting to try out the new weapons and operators in Vanguard, those who purchase Call of Duty Vanguard prior to Season 1's official launch will be able to participate in a 24-hour Caldera exclusive access event in Warzone Pacific starting on launch day December the 2nd. As for Black Ops Cold War and Modern Warfare weaponry, they still have a place across both of Warzone's islands. Okay, familiar playlists. Access all legacy content in standard, rebirth, island playlists. Here we go. The biggest arsenal in Call of Duty. At the start of Season 1, you can use 150 plus weapons in Caldera within standard Battle Royale and Plunder modes, as well as Rebirth Island returns. The resurgence continues. Expect the alternate small scale map to continue, supplementing the main Warzone map. So I think it's probably going to stay the same. It's not going to be World War II themed. Original Warzone vehicles still cruising. Your pink anime truck isn't going anywhere. All original vehicles and their vehicle skins, including ATVs and other Verdansk era modes of transport, still exist in these playlists. So there's going to be a lot of queues, isn't there, for this? Wow. Warzone is big enough for 2 islands after all. For those with Warzone experience since integration with Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War, all those 100 plus weapons you leveled up and perfected loadouts for can still be used across the many Warzone Pacific playlists. Here are the 2 we can reveal right now. The first are playlists that include Rebirth Island. From Resurgence to mini royales and many more surprises to come, Rebirth Island is back to complement the main Warzone Pacific experience. The other is your familiar Battle Royale and Plunder experiences, but taking place on Caldera, which is the big Pacific map. Whether it is modern, from the Cold War, or just came with Vanguard, any of the 150 plus weapons you have earned or leveled up can be used in the normal playlist, so not the Vanguard playlists. The usual playlists are also home to the original vehicles you've driven before, ATVs, SUVs, helicopters and the like, while the dedicated Vanguard modes will have all the new ways to get around Caldera, such as the planes and AA truck, the original vehicle set, as well as any vehicle skins you've unlocked for them, and they'll still exist in these other playlists. Oh, right, okay, Season 1, new Battle Pass armaments. All these exciting Warzone editions aren't the only piece of new content coming with Season 1. So that, right, okay. Okay, so let's go back. So we've got some really important ideas coming across here, haven't we? The fact that when the new Warzone map drops on December the 2nd, the Pacific map, Caldera, there's going to be different playlists. And depending on which playlists you're in, that will dictate which weapon loadouts you can use. So in the standard playlists, when they become available, so I don't think they're going to be available straight away. Actually, they'll have to be, won't they? Because people who haven't bought Vanguard won't be able to use them. Well, I don't actually know, because you would then get the gun. So you're going to have Vanguard playlists, so Vanguard Royale basically, where you're going to be running around with the World War II weapons. and you're going to have the standard playlist where you can run around with all the weapons from Black Ops and Modern Warfare and the Vanguard weapons. In the Vanguard Warzone playlist, you're going to get to use the AA truck and get to fly around in the biplanes and the fighters and fight each other that way. And in the standard Warzone playlists, you're going to be able to fly around in the helicopters and the other stuff. So that's quite, actually think about that's quite interesting, because I guess the idea is that Caldera Island is, you've got a World War II version of Caldera Island, and then you've got the Modern Warfare era of Caldera Island, which where it has everything on. But you will be able to use your operator skins, so your skins for all the ones you've earned for Cold War and Modern Warfare. You'll be able to use those. So your Captain Price for it. So you can have a Captain Price, for example, running around in Caldera, the Pacific map, with World War II gear. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? So that kind of clears things up. So will you be able to use your existing weapons and operators that you've unlocked in Warzone Pacific? Yes, you will, but only in the standard playlists. In the Vanguard playlist, you'll be using World War II weapons, but you can still use your operators. Wow. Bit complicated. I'm sure it's going to be much more obvious once we start playing it and we start to understand it then. But it's very exciting. Remember that all this sort of kicks off December the 2nd for the new Warzone map, Caldera. There we go. Hopefully you found that useful and informative. If you have, hit the like button if you want to see more, press subscribe. And I will, of course, see you again soon.